which allowed the federal government for the first time in history to issue paper money, not backed by gold. After he died, the Supreme Court found it unconstitutional. The radical Republicans running the Congress, as people left the Supreme Court, they reduced the number on the Supreme Court so that the impeached but acquitted, small government, maximum individual liberty, Andrew Johnson could not replace the departing members of the court. So the court went from 9 to 7 to 6. As soon as Ulysses S. Grant became president, the radical Republicans told him who to appoint. He appointed 3 big government people. For the only time in American history, they heard the same case again, and this time ruled that paper money was constitutional. And that, of course, continued the decline in the value of the dollar, started by Abe Lincoln.
Yep. Judge, what you're telling people, the information that you're putting out, nobody knows this. And again, that's when I say that, you give people what no one else is providing in so many different ways, from the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the facts, even, to the money game over here. It's so sad because, they rewrite history, and what you're saying now, again, what happened during the Lincoln years and Grant, et cetera, no one talks about. And right now, what we're going through now, this crisis that we're about to enter, we've already entered, when they rewrite history, when they do history, they'll rewrite it in a way that the government will tell them what to say. And that what no one is talking about, that you're talking about, or not, I talk about as well, is that what caused this inflation, what caused this phony bubble, the countless trillions of dollars that governments pumped into the system to fight the COVID war, bringing interest rates down to 0 to create this artificial economy, when everything should have crashed in 2020 when they locked down America. And it should have all crashed, but they artificially propped it up. And now the crash is coming.
Right. They're actually, they think they can define nature. I mean, it is in the natural order of things that when there are extra dollars around pumped into the economy, prices will go up. That is human nature. That really is their ultimate goal. They'd like to be able to control human nature, and they haven't been able to do so other than to cause us, products of government schools, to give the government the benefit of the doubt. The government should never have the benefit of the doubt. What is government? It is the negation of liberty. Our liberty is natural. Government steals liberty and steals property from us. The government should always be presumed to be wrong rather than presumed to be right.
Government is the negation of liberty. And with these little clowns, they forgot 2 words: public servant.
They never heard that phrase. Ronald Reagan used to say, does the government work for us or do we work for the government? It's not even a close call that we work for the government.
These little clowns like that other arrogant little boy of nothing, that John Kerry, when every time he used to be running, when he was running for president and all this stuff, he used to say, I'm a public servant. He used to throw that line out. So the politicians use that when they're running for office. But of course, once they get in there, we'll tell you what to do. Close down your house, close down your business, go home. They make up anything that they want. The arrogance of what's happened in this country, it breaks my heart. There's in LA, there's a big strike going on. Teachers and others who work for the school system. The average pay of the people that are striking, I think it's like $28,000 a year or something.
Oh.
But the thing that has to happen in America that's not happening is that the people have to take to the streets and you don't go home. Look what's going on in France. They changed the retirement age from 62 to 64. Marron. And the people are taking to the streets week after week, day after day, night after night. Look what's going on in Israel with the judiciary laws, getting rid of them. People taking to the streets day after day, week after week, night after night. Not in America.
We used to do that here during the Vietnam years and chased that scoundrel LBJ from office, but it doesn't seem to happen anymore. You were the featured speaker at that marvelous rally for peace. There it is. Rage Against the War Machine in D.C. on February 19. There should have been 300,000 people there.
Yep.
There were maybe 5,000. Because we have grown accustomed to oppression, because the COVID dry run of government shutting us down worked for the government. Worked for the government. Shut them down, give them bread and circuses, the Roman phrase for today, give them cash, and they'll be happy. And that's what happened.
Yep, that perfectly said. Oh, by the way, going back to the digital dollar, what you're saying?
Yeah.
This is the cover of the Trends Journal.
Wow. When is that? Because you predicted it. That cover predicted it.
March 2020.
Wow.
3 years ago.
Wow. You've always been ahead of your time, young man.
Young man. I'm a trend forecaster. But, no, this is, they're all going to go digital because, again, this way they know every penny you spent, where you spent it, what you spent it on, so they can get their tax dollars from you. End of story, period, paragraph.
Right.
More control over the people. And by the way, India, and look at the poverty level in India. You go to the markets in India, the poorest places, you know how people pay for everything? Boop, their phone on the screen. No more. Remember that guy, Modi did away with the rupee, came out with a new one.
Yeah.
People don't know anything about this. They have no idea. China's they're all going to do it. What they're going to do is when this thing crashes, they're going to come out with the digital currency.
Yeah.
So they can get rid of the old debt and come out with new.
So take a dollar bill. I know you want to go, but take a dollar bill out of your pocket. It says on it, it's issued by the Federal Reserve, and it says, this is a valid currency for all debts, public and private. Go to the George Washington Bridge, the most famous bridge in America, maybe in the world, and try and pay the toll with a dollar bill. They won't take it. They won't take it. If you don't have the government's sole vendor, no competition, sole vendor, something called Easy Pass, you have to get in a long, long line, and they still won't take your cash. They'll take a photograph of your license plate and mail you a bill for the toll and a surcharge on top of the bill. So that dollar bill, which the government issued, which says on it, legal tender for all debts, public and private, is rejected by the very people that issued it.
Yeah. And how about in God we trust?
Oh, God.
My grandfather, may he rest in peace, he was a laborer on the George Washington Bridge.
It's a great bridge. It's beautiful. It's magnificent.
Isn't it?
I tried a murder case once, and the defendant ran to the top of the George Washington Bridge that had 900 people and 3 helicopters and Mayor Ed Koch with a bullhorn trying to get this guy down. Every time I cross the bridge, I think of that case.
Oh, wow. Funny. Judge, thanks so much for being on. And thank you for the information that you're giving the people. And you mean so much to so many, including myself. So thank you so much for doing what you're doing. And again, we must unite in a new third party. And you're the guy to me that should be the number one person as president of the United States of America. Thank you,
God love you, Gerald. Thank you. All the best, my friend.